Welcome to Forever Exiled. I'm Justin A.K. Tags.
And I am an angry Tyler Wrecker of Days.
You are
Stupid
an angry...
text. Oh, wrong thing to do. You know how sometimes when like you and I are playing a game, and like we've said this in the past, we're having a great time. This is going to be a wonderfully... Thank you, my son. This is why I kept you home today. I'm joking. I'll give you an extra bit. All right? Okay. Yeah, I love you too. Have fun.
So you can't be angry now?
Well, now I'm half angry. So, but you know, like when you were playing, like we've all had our frustrating times with Path of Exile, and this is going to be a positive episode. It's going to be great. But, you know, sometimes like, oh, I shouldn't have played just before we recorded because, you know, I'm so mad. Yeah, sure. So anyway, this has nothing to do with Path of Exile, but I saw that I had $200 extra on my TELUS bill. TELUS, for the listeners, that's my internet service provider. And they screwed up. Like it wasn't on me. It wasn't anything I'm trying to swindle or get away with. And I was just so infuriated. And I just had the worst time with tech support online, just trying to fix my stupid bill. Anyway, that I just got off the phone. And here I am. So now I'm raging, like, you know, some sort of like
a resolution
on death. Yes. And it was resolved the way I wanted.
It just takes like 45 minutes.
Longer. And you have to deal with idiots until the very final person.
I know.
But you don't trust that they did it well, because I know in 3 months, whatever this person did, they've like fixed this issue, but they created another issue. Whatever, man. Whatever. Hi, Just. How you doing?
Whatever, man. Whatever. Welcome to episode 292 of Forever Exiled. Big shout out to our patrons. Thank you so much, Damon 7542 for signing up this week, and everybody else who resubbed up this week. We love your faces. Patreon gets you access to After Dark, where it's just two more rageaholics going at it. That's what you get. and obviously a very, very nice card in the mail, handwritten by Tyler. I don't even read them because I gave up trying to read them. So I just sign them and send them off.
Originally, you were just being a dick about my cursive writing.
Yeah.
But my cursive writing is getting worse. Like
is it really?
It is. And I have to be very careful when I write it throughout the day, like when I have energy, because my brain turns off sometimes partway through a word. Like, especially when I write encouragement. I normally have the word encouragement in almost every one of them.
Oh, do you? Okay.
But my brain, like, as soon as I get to the I'm like, it like shuts off, and you'll see almost every single one of the R's with has like this weird squiggle before it starts moving on.
You just know that Tyler's brain's shutting down when you read those cards.
It's getting bad. We might have to start sending 2 to each person. Like all our patrons are going to cancel, then re-up just so they get new cards. Don't worry, our system doesn't work like that. You can't swindle us.
Nice try.
Like I'm thinking of handwriting it, right? Because that's the way that adults write, Justin.
No, they don't.
And then print the next one.
I want to see you print
they
one.
Know what it actually
I just want to see
says.
a printed one. I've never seen one that you've printed.
I can't. Like even when like
I want to see it. You've got one to do.
Medical
so do
forms
that
where it's like, please print your name. I'm like, oh, I don't even know what the letters look like when you print.
Then you
like
all curse and they're like, no,
work.
Do it again. This doesn't work.
Yeah, it is. It's like when you're trying not to smile for your driver's license picture. Don't smile.
Man, that's the best ever.
Okay.
Easy.
I'm not smiling. And
people tell me to smile all the time, and I'm like, I am smiling.
My mouth doesn't move up.
Just because I can feel it in my head. So
that's right.
Leave me alone.
I have appreciation and thanks in my heart. That is good enough for you. Take the picture.
Yeah. Thank you so much, though, to everybody who resubbed up. We love your faces. Happy Mother's Day weekend to all the moms and mom jobs out there. We love your faces as well.
We do. We appreciate your birthing. And your sacrifices and your efforts and your momisms. We love you dearly and desperately.
How was your week?
What is a momism? I said mom-isms, but I meant more like... I don't
listen to the words you say.
Everything that a mom is that I could never be. That's what I meant.
But
it came out wrong. My wife's going to get mad at me. That's all I know.
How was your week?
I had a good week, man.
Yeah.
Except for this damn TELUS thing. Like
tech support?
Well,
are we going back to
a couple of weeks ago? Yes, we're going back to it. I'm freaking mad. They came like 2 separate appointments. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. Let it go. No way. The resolution of this is just around the river bend. And it was like they came and they were just completely clueless. Absolute idiots. They didn't even know what they were showing up for when they showed up for the appointment. And they were like, they had to look up only at their like laminated pamphlet if A, doesn't work. Try B. Like it was, they were clueless. So anyway, they were actually so bad that TELUS is giving me like a ridiculous upgrade at a ridiculous price. And that's coming at the end of the month. But they felt like they were embarrassed for the whole process of what I had to go through for the 2 weeks that I was trying to get my resolution fixed, which is their responsibility with what we pay for. And so anyway, that upgrade's coming. But then when you call a tech support technician with TELUS, right, with us, because they don't want people just calling like, hey, come fix my stuff. Hey, come fix my stuff. Hey, come fix my internet. If the problem isn't actually TELUS's responsibility, it's something to do with yourself or your network or your own setup, then they charge you for the visit.
It's
right?
very rare for that to happen, though.
Yeah, I got charged for the visit.
Get
$200. Yeah, for one of those visits where, like, I actually have an appointment coming up that's saying, we're so sorry for these idiots that we sent you.
So you got that fixed, though, right?
So that's coming, but I got one of them charged me for the visit. And so I called and I called Justin and I'm like, they don't have a way for you to just contact the retention or loyalty department, which makes sense. But I asked for them right away. Well, what's your phone number that we can reach you in case we get disconnected? And what's this? What's that? Okay, I'll transfer you now. But that was like 15 minutes. They asked me like 20 questions of my life. They transfer me to another customer service agent, not loyalty. And then they asked me, well, maybe I can help you. Well, and I accidentally said billing. Like they screwed up my bill, but retention has to, bill it. And like it just screwed them up so bad. And then I'm like another 15 minutes, just please transfer me to retention. Please transfer me to loyalty. And they transfer me to another customer service agent. 30 minutes later, I'm exactly where I was at the very beginning. It was so infuriating. So I hang up and you were very kind to wait for me through all this.
It works. So it's fine.
I call back. And the person answers, and I'm like, can you transfer me to loyalty, please? And they're like, this is loyalty. And I'm like, no, like not customer service, like loyalty. I was asked to ask for loyalty. It was loyalty. Loyalty answered the phone when I called back the second time.
They knew it.
So anyway,
everybody at customer service was like, not touching
what
that
angel
one.
switched what switch. But anyway, it worked out. And
I
she refunded me the money.
TELUS, so I luckily don't have to go through that. But
you pretend you're in a business. So whatever.
I'm lucky in that sense, but I do know the pain. So anyway, that sucks.
My week was great, though. My son, he's sick today and he's at home. Luckily, medication's working. So he's upstairs. I let the kids play video games, but we're like really...
I like how you say that guilty. It's fine, Ty. He can play.
No, well, but no. Like, if you let the kid do whatever they want on a sick day, they're going to want to be sick all the time.
My kids have to have naps on sick days. That's what keeps them up. I'm like, all right, fine. Yeah, you're 15. Go have a nap. Yeah. You finish lunch, go lay down.
So obviously there's some tells where it's like, well, okay, your fever's 39.5 for Fahrenheit listeners. Like that. Idiots. 40 is when you go to the hospital for anybody, I guess, because my kids are almost that age now. But yeah, so, like there's some things you can't fix. And like he loves reading. Last night, he went to bed at like 8 o'clock when we don't even have to turn up the lights till 9. Like he was sick. So on those kind of days where like he's legit sick, it's not like, Daddy, my belly. Anyway, so he's allowed to play Elden Ring on those days. Well, whatever game, but it's always Elden Ring on those days. And but one of his buddies got suspended.
From elementary school?
Yeah.
What?
Right? So
what happened?
That was pretty awesome. Like they're not actually buddies. He just
knows them.
Well, they kind of are, kind of aren't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like part of the group. He's
distancing himself right now. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I thought that was when I heard
I can't believe a kid got suspended from.
Yeah, 2 of them did. And they're in the same class. But like to the point where they were disturbing assemblies.
Was so was it not just for being disturbing people?
Like they were just like constant, absolutely constant. Now you know how our school like picks what students go into what class.
Yeah.
I swear they all went on vacation and just let like the newest teacher do all the stuff because this poor teacher got like every dickweed in the grade in her class.
I mean, it sucks too because they're at that age too where a kid, especially boys, can start becoming real turds. So that's crazy that they suspended 2 kids. Good for them though. The school should do that.
For sure.
You're not allowed to hit them anymore. At least suspend them.
Yeah, but it's good. So anyway, he's been like, it's been a rough week for him being ill, and then with all the confusion going on because it's like his buddy but not buddy, you know, that went through all that. But for some reason, he's ever since he discovered what science projects are with kids, like bringing them to school, he's been stressed about it.
Oh, about
I don't know why, but it's bothered him.
It'd be coming up.
He's in grade 4. This is his first year with a science project with a little poster board and stuff.
Yeah,
well, not for him. He's terrified.
He stresses about it.
What he's chosen to do is the example that his teacher provided to the class. Like he doesn't even want to think about it, right?
Yeah.
And so he's doing this experiment where he's like going to try 3 or 4 different brands of popcorn and go through the details, but he wants to see which ones leave the most amount of unpopped popcorn.
Okay. Yeah.
So what's your least efficient popcorn brand? And it's obviously not going to be the most thorough tester. I'm going to test each brand like
whatever. It's just for fun anyway.
Yeah. But the amount of popcorn we have, like we just did the no-name brand from Superstore, and we did 325 kernels 4 times. That's a lot of popcorn, Justin. Like even if 70 kernels are getting left over, I'm like, I don't know why, because popcorn is so ridiculously cheap. But I'm like, I can't waste it.
I'm going to show you something.
So what? Where is it? What's wrong?
My kids and popcorn, they are not getting name brand, whatever it is. This is a box.
Good.
How many does it have? Like 4,000 of them? I don't even know. 44 93 gram bags, 44 of them.
But they're bags, right? Like you buy them in
it's
bags.
like a little thing that you put into the microwave.
Okay. Yeah.
God, man, my kids will go through this box easily in a month.
Wow.
That's
ridiculous. Crazy. Not us. My daughter can't have them right now because of braces.
Oh, braces. Yeah.
And
my daughter would eat popcorn every day, all day. She loves popcorn.
It's bad for you, so it's fine.
She throws on the dill flavoring though, and then I can see her licking the bottom of the plate. I'm like, that's disgusting. That's not happening.
That's the best. Nah, she's probably my kid. So I have so much popcorn, and popcorn, like unless you're getting like Orville Redenbacher, it's dirt cheap. Like a big thing of like great value, which is Walmart or No Name, a huge bag that could last us easily a couple months. It's $2.
How did you pop it? What did you use to pop it?
Oh, well, so we just have a covering. We throw it in the, we pour it in.
Oh, yeah.
To
okay.
You put it into like the bottom container that's made for it. And then we put it in the microwave. Yeah. So that's what we do. We got ours from my mom. So it is probably from the 70s. But anyway, that's what we use. And it's hilarious because popcorn is so cheap, yet I see all this popcorn there. I can't throw it out. It is wasting food.
What are you going to do with it?
I cannot. So but I can't have popcorn on its own. So I'm like cutting butter and like, I'm having just like I'm going to be like 10 pounds heavier after this experiment because of all the butter I'm using to eat all of this stupid popcorn. But like butter for rectangles, like $6.50. You're
spending way more money on that.
I know. I'm spending way more money wasting all this butter on popcorn. I could just throw out this like 25 cents worth of popcorn. Anyway, that's been my week.
That's fun though.
It's been good.
Science projects are fun.
I got my new phone.
Did you go
because
with
remember my other one was all
you were going with
up.
Now you have a screen that's not all like jagged and cut in your face.
Yeah. I stay with I've been for the last decade. I stayed with the Motorola G family because they're cheap.
Always been with like they're cheap. Remember your weird Windows phone that you were just like, hey, this is the
Bill
phone.
Gates. Bill Gates said that if he wasn't intentionally distracted by the lawsuits happening, right? That the world would be using Windows phones instead of Apple and Android,
you
which I think
is for a long time.
Hey, I didn't mind the Windows phones. They weren't special, but they weren't bad. They were efficient, I guess you could say.
You were just committed.
Like, click.
You were committed for sure.
Well, come on. I was still angry about layered cake.
Like, I'm holding on to this one. I'll prove it to them.
Some point to my friends that kept rejecting my crap for no reason. So anyway, awesome. I got it. I unfortunately had to spend more than I was willing, but that's just unfortunately circumstance because my previous phone was cracked.
Yeah, you needed to replace that one for sure.
Yeah, but I waited until I was able to hold out until the 2024 Motorola Gs were on sale.
Nice.
Because the 2025s aren't out in Canada yet. They're just coming out.
Yep.
But Motorola, fortunately, puts them on sale before the releases.
Sure.
Which makes sense. But I mean, companies can make whatever decisions they want for whatever their reasons are. So I was fortunate that I only had to wait about a month until they went on sale. So
Sweet.
Still not as much of a sale as I wanted, but I got it and the accessories are here and it's all set up. And 15 minutes later, I am now asking about your week.
My week was, it was an interesting week. It was, as I say that to look at my phone as to what's going on, I'm getting a phone call. Pause for a moment.
Well,
all right. Sorry about that. If it wasn't Christina, I wouldn't have answered it.
no
My
problem,
week was, hold on, I'm just making a note so I can take that out.
That's what I'm doing.
It was really busy for work, which is not uncommon, but we had some crazy stuff. Actually, we had our dog on Sunday night decided we had gotten her a new bed for her kennel because she sleeps in her kennel at night, and Christina hadn't had the bed for that long, but she decided to chew it up and tear it up and then ate the fluff, like a lot of the fluff that was inside this bed. And then on Monday started like puking and was like throwing up chunks of this fluff, and then continued to be like that through Monday. And we were like, oh, freaking dog, like what's going on? Like we didn't want her to have a blockage because then there's going to be a problem. And then I think on Tuesday morning, she had pooped some of it out, but she was still dry heaving and then puking up water. And so anyway, we ended up calling the vet and ended up taking her in to get her checked. So they checked her out, and the guy's like, I love our vet. Like our vet is really good. And he checks her out, and then he says, so, you know, given the way she was and what's happening, he's not overly concerned, but he's like, sort of the gold standard at this point would be to do x-rays just to make sure there's nothing doing a full blockage. But if you're saying that something's coming out the back, then hopefully it's not. He's like, the other option is we can give her a shot, which will help with the nausea and the puking. And then we'll give you this special food. It's more of a wet food that will help break up anything that's going on to hopefully help the rest of it pass. I'm like, I'll take that one.
Yeah, not worth it.
And so, but he did say, like, if they give her this shot and she continues to puke, then she needs to come right back because that means there's actually something fully blocking it. So thankfully she hasn't. She's been fine. We're not quite back to normal with her yet. Like she's still weird with her eating, but yeah, so we had to deal with that this week. And then yesterday,
what do you think it was with the bed?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't know if she got a smell or I don't know. Cause she doesn't go in the kennel until like midnight usually. And it was
a brand new bed. You wouldn't have bothered to use
one. She had it for probably a week. But I don't know if she only started tearing at it on Sunday. I'm not really sure. She loves getting fluff out of stuff.
Oh, like, yeah. Riley's the same thing.
She'll work the fluff out
to be emptied.
And then she'll play with it. But she wants to pull all the fluff out. So I don't know if there was something going on with that. I'm not sure. She's not. Now she just sleeps on the kennel. I was like, screw that. She's a dog. She's fine. She's got a bed normally. Like she's got a huge ass bed in our house. She just sleeps in the kennel at night. We kennel trained her from a puppy. So she's fine. She's been good since then, but I don't know. I'm not sure
what it was. Like, cause she's never done that.
Not to that degree.
Like actually eat it.
No, even when she tears apart her stuff, she doesn't. She does the mouth thing and then it's gone. I'm not sure what triggered the actual eating of it, but yeah, so we dealt with that this week. And then I went yesterday morning and had my epidural done.
I've been wanting to ask. Tell me.
Had that. Well, I don't know. I mean, the thing is like peak time for where you'll start to notice it takes like 1 to 2 weeks, but the peak is at 4 weeks, like where you'll really feel like you should have gotten some good relief. So it's not an immediate thing. Yesterday was brutal. I had it done at 11:30. And by the evening, I was so uncomfortable. Like the pain was just this achy, numb pain in all of my lower back going down into the legs. So I was like, oh God, what did I do? Today's been fine. It hasn't necessarily been better, but I'm not feeling the pain right now. So we'll see how it goes over the next couple of weeks. But going into this thing, I was a little nervous, and needles have never bothered me. I mean, I've had like needles that it doesn't bother me, but people were freaking me out about this thing. People were like, oh my God, it's terrible. It's so painful. The epidural, you're blah, 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 this and that. So I went into it a little bit nervous. It was a little funny, man. So the place that I went to is very professional. It's a pain clinic. I think you know what they are, but very professional, very like operating room type of scenario. But I didn't know what to expect. all I knew is they were going at the tailbone, and me and my dummy brain thinks the tailbone's just at the bottom of your back, but no, it's like at your butt. And so I get into the room and I'm talking to the doctor. He's like, hey, you're just going to lay on the table. Stomach will go on the pillow, face into the hole. I'm like, okay, no problem. As I walk in though, I'm about to get towards the bed and there's this little lady chasing me around and she's literally like right on my back. And I didn't really think anything of it. As I'm about to step up, I said, oh, I have my phone and my wallet. Should I take those out? He's like, oh yeah, put those on the table because there's an x-ray machine that they use under the table as they're doing the injection so that they can like monitor what they're doing. This little lady just kept following me as I went over. I'm not kidding. This woman was like right on me and she kept grabbing at my shirt. And I'm like, what is happening here? I lay down on the table. As soon as I lay down on the table, this lady just like yanks the shirt up, yanks the pants down and starts like prepping. It was the weirdest thing.
Eager's hot, man.
Very quick. Yeah. And then they start cleaning and figuring out. And I say to Christine, I'm like, then I started to actually stress a little bit because where they were cleaning and putting their hand, I was like, oh my, I mean, obviously the tailbone's like right at the base of your back and your butt. But I'm thinking there's no skin there. There's no, like, we're going to needle in here. What are we doing? I got no cushion. There's nothing.
Abort plan.
Yeah, as they're cleaning, I was like, can I get out of this? Like, do I stop this now? Yeah. And then he freezes it. And I love when doctors like, you're gonna feel some pressure. It's like, okay, just say you're poking me. A needle's not pressure. That's not what it feels like. But so he does the freezing and then I was trying to listen to them. They're like, cause they put a dye in and then they do the medication. Dude, it was cake compared to prolotherapy, which I've had.
Yeah.
Oh my, it was easy. By the time he was done, I was like, he even said like, when he said we're putting the medication in, I was thinking another needle. I didn't, nothing. I didn't, nothing. I was probably in and out of there in about 6 or 7 minutes. It was crazy
like,
how fast it was.
So wait 10 to 15 minutes before you start doing cartwheels.
Well, they wouldn't let me drive. So Christina had to take me. And I also was like, why? I can drive. And they're like, no, you can't. Your legs are going to go a bit numb. Even still through the rest of the day, I was so annoyed being stuck at home because I had stuff to do. I'm like, I can move I don't know what it is. But anyway, yeah, we'll see how it goes now. I got to check up with them in 6 weeks. And right now the goal is just to make it to July. So we'll see how this goes.
Just around the river bend, man.
It's coming. I mean, that's just the consult. So there's a chance. Now that I've done this, though, if it does work and gives me some relief at least while I wait for surgery, I will do this again 100 times over. Like this was cake compared to prolotherapy. Prolotherapy was way worse.
And it's cheap, isn't it?
Well, epidural steroid injection, when it's done for medical reasons, is covered by MSP. I just have to pay for, it's so funny. So you pay for the medication. So I think it was like $50. It was cheap for what I was getting, especially if it turns into actual relief. $50 is wicked cheap. But when I was talking to him, he's like, yeah, you have to cover the cost of the medication and the whatever they put in them. He's like, we don't let people bring in their own. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, people actually ask us if they want to get it from their pharmacy for cheaper and bring it in. I was like, I promise you, that's not me. You use whatever you need to use.
I don't trust me or anyone else that much. I have a tough enough time.
Yeah. That's
with
not
this
me.
Procedure.
I thought that was so funny. He's like, yeah, people try to bring in their own. I'm like, okay, well, was never even a thought for me. Like, actually, I'd like you to inject this instead. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. But that was cool, the week, man. It was a lot of work, which was busy. And yeah, and then the dog in my back. I played some PoE. Actually, we only played PoE this week. PoE 1.
I know,
as a matter of fact.
Me too.
Our private league is going. It started last week as a surprise to everybody. We didn't do any lead up to this one because there was no timeline. So we figured, why not just grip it and rip it? Let's just go. So our private league started last week. So I'm sure we're going to be talking about that. But what else?
Yeah.
What else we got in PoE?
Yeah, no, it just started like that night of After Dark and then we played, and it just goes until the 30th. Like it's not a 10-day one. Like if you're familiar with our private leagues, it's not the same time restriction. The reason Justin and I were comfortable starting it right away without warning, though we were giving lots of warning in case you're getting pissy about whatever. It was they didn't let us choose. They let you choose a start date, but every single private league ends on the same time on May 30th. So
if you want to play,
whatever.
Info's in our Discord. In
Play as much as you want, as little as you want, and die lots.
Hardcore, not solo self-found, which has actually been fun.
Yeah.
There's like
Post your rip clips in our rip clips channel, please. It is always fun to laugh at people, and it's important to learn to laugh about yourself or laugh at yourself. So, you're going to have one for all me. Around.
We're going to have a good laugh at one of mine for sure.
Did you save it?
When we talk? No.
Dude.
I was too dumbfounded when it happened that I couldn't remember the keys that I have to press for NVIDIA to like record the last 30 seconds.
It sounds like you're playing Path of Exile.
Dude, when I tell you about my death, and you'll understand the panic that I went through of trying to figure out what to do. Yeah, we'll explain. What do we got this week in PoE though?
Well, this week in PoE is it's like wicked small, mate. Wicked small.
Okay.
So there were stats, which we love stats, but also
look at these.
Some early access stats I don't really care about.
Why? Still fun.
Well, some of them I do. I don't care. In early access, I don't care how many people
I love that
playing.
They're still calling it maps cleared, not waystones cleared. That's funny. 355,000 Arbiter of Ashes killed in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah. See,
who are these people? That's like two people.
Also, yeah,
come on.
That's right. But like, it's also just,
it's fun.
I don't care which ascendancies are getting a lot or not.
It's fun to still see it. I like it.
And obviously the Lich in Amazon are going to be huge because they just came out. So it's like,
They're poor Smith and
I still love
not
stats.
doing great.
Oh, but you were saying maps and waystones. Apparently waystones open maps.
Yes, I understand. And we had this conversation and I had the opposing opinion last week to what I'm saying right now, but I still find it funny.
But good news, Justin, 3.27 trillion gold has dropped, which is an equivalent of 6.5 billion gold per hour.
Do you know what would be a fun combo to that total gold dropped? Would be total gold picked up.
Yeah,
like I wonder what the comparison is, like the relationship
or have
between
both
those two.
Stats, so then they can realize they need to make that radius
a little bit bigger.
That's right. Because if it drops, just give it to me.
Yeah, you know what's funny though is that when we talk about gold, going back to Path of Exile 1 in our private league, how often I'm trying to actually go pick up the gold in PoE 1 because
100%
settlers of Kalgu are the little town. In PoE 2, but PoE 1, it's funny how it's actually made me excited to find gold.
For me, if it drops, I'm going back.
Yeah.
I'm like, I am risking my life in between 3 rares to get that scroll of wisdom. Don't you dare make me not get that scroll, because you know what happens, Justin? Every single time I don't pick up that, oh, I'm too rich for that. When that's the attitude I have for a drop, I'm too... See, if I'm doing zombies in Path of Exile 1 right now, so I'm only doing the specific kind of wand, right? The convoking wand and its progress.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm only doing armor and energy shield bases. The combo, not the individual ones. So I'm fine ignoring that. That's not me being, I'm too rich for that. That doesn't work for me. No, thank you. But thanks for asking, right? But when a scroll of wisdom drops, when I ignore it, I'm always hitting the longest dead end. And then the game forces me to come back and I'm walking right past that scroll of wisdom. Or it's something else where it's like, I'm like when it's not hardcore, which we're playing hardcore right now. For those that are not part of the private league yet, you're welcome to join and die lots and restart, and we can laugh at you.
Also
together.
2121 us. Make sure you chat.
Global 2121. But also we're just two friends talking about a game we like. You missed your intro.
Oh yeah, Discord.
But,
Get in our
that's
Discord.
my fault because of Telus.
Also hit 5 stars and
only
like
5 stars. 4 stars, we're deleting you, and we will cancel your Patreon.
I feel like Spotify has something against us because they won't, even though the amount of ratings goes up, the rating itself has never moved. It's just 4.6, and I'm like, what? How are we averaging out at 4.6? Come on, people, hit that 5 star. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
No, it's just one of those things where even when I'm playing softcore, like if I skip that scroll of wisdom,
you're going to come back to it.
I die to something stupid. And then I have to walk past that scroll of wisdom again to get past that point. Whereas if I picked it up, I wouldn't have died.
You wouldn't have died. That's true.
No, the game's like, oh, Mr. Hoity-toity over there. Oh, we'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So like when I'm playing through Path of Exile 1 this time, I skipped over a scroll of wisdom and it was then like Act 1, right? We're just getting into the dungeons.
You need them.
And no joke, the second I pass that scroll of wisdom and don't pick it up, and it was because my A button was kind of finicky. Like I need to, I don't want to replace my controller. Just replace this, just replace that. The house is falling
Maybe
apart.
You
Like
just need to clean it.
Yeah, okay. I'll go ahead and do that.
Mm-hmm.
There,
You
clean.
can take it apart.
Yeah, okay. That's
I'll
what
help
I
you
can
with it.
do.
I'll help you with
Okay.
it.
Okay, sounds good. That I appreciate. Thank you. So anyway, like it wasn't working. I was having to hit the button pretty hard and it wasn't picking up. So I'm like, fine, I'll skip it. No joke. The very next set of enemies I get are magic enemies. They're the fast ghouls that I already hate. And
Your
they're
favorite.
hasted. And they're hasted and F you get. I mean, I
there's
killed
your
them.
PoE 2 change.
I
They don't
killed
have it.
them, but right, exactly, right. A lot of those little extra things that we'll take for granted in no time, and we'll be complaining about Path of Exile 2 just as much as we complain about Path of Exile 1, even though at some point it's going to be 10 times better. But yes, that's one of the things that they're doing. So anyway, it was just hilarious. I'm like, so like no joke. This was just a joke towards me because it was Act 1, so I was fine restarting. So as a joke to myself, I'm like, fine, I'll pick up the scroll. I'll pick up the scroll, and I picked it up, and it's like they fell apart right after that. It was really funny. So anyway,
Power of the
stats,
scroll.
Justin.
Stats are cool. I like seeing them.
Yeah. Then the other thing was actually this one's kind
I
of
read this one.
What?
I actually read this one.
You didn't get this sent to you in audiobook form?
No, I read it this morning while I was waiting.
Good for you. So yeah, GGG's previewing the 2.0H. Really curious what 0.1 is going to be, because these all seem like big deals. Like they changed loot more than they've changed loot ever in the history of Path of Exile.
0.2.1.
Right, yeah, like 0.2.0G changed loot more than loot has ever been changed in the history of Path of Exile, and that was G. That wasn't even worthy of a 0.1. Or sorry,
maybe they're not doing
0.2.1.
Maybe they're not doing them.
But this says 0.2.0H.
I hope when they come out with 0.2.1, it's like bug fix, just one.
It's one of those where it's like a crash fix, so they don't specify. It's just like,
there's nothing. Yeah, fix the crash.
or you know, sometimes they have those little things like constantly improving audio and visuals and
just
stuff
something
like
simple.
that. Like
I want them to throw you off entirely.
I remember long ago Chris Wilson having one of the announcements where one of the next big patches was simply improving the visual effects, and like the video was legit, just like the difference between here's how water waves used to work on the beach and here's how water now looks. And obviously there were dickheads that were responding, fix my build, don't fix the water. But I mean, I still like, you know, remember when that was something that they would advertise? I mean, obviously the company's grown, so much has happened and all this kind of stuff, but I don't know. I also think it would be kind of cool. Like now, look at how the leaves blow by. That's 0.1, 0.2.1. But anyway, this one, what was this one? This one focused specifically on Breach. And then a lot of quality of life stuff. A lot of it to do with the mini map and UIs, some stash tabs. But another cool one, and I'm not there yet because then this is what I was trying to talk to you about before, but I didn't know how to word it properly. The different tiers of items.
Yeah, because you haven't seen those yet.
Yeah. And so, but that's editable, not edible, editable in the filter now. And so, yeah, and I'm curious how that's going to work. Because it's a really good
change because of G. Because of the improvement in G to that type of loot, being able to actually filter that better is super nice for people who make filters and for the people who enjoy the filters, which is everybody. So yeah, it is really cool.
Yes, it is.
I have a question. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It was just because the Path of Exile 2 website is still just like promo. It really doesn't support the game yet. We're still having to go to Path of Exile 1 for everything. There's no, and I haven't gone in to change anything in Path of Exile 1, like in the filter section. Like they have an about section that shows you commands and stuff like that. So I don't know if they're showing Path of Exile 2 only block commands that work. So I haven't gone in there yet, but it's not displayed on the Path of Exile 2 website. So I don't know when that's going to be available, but I am, as a filter editor, really excited to get into that and figure things out and change the different shades of pink or yellow or blue or whatever it's going to be. So anyway, go ahead. And then
Well,
there's
I'm
one more
excited
thing
to
on this post.
enjoy it when Filter Blade brings it out. Because that's when I'll enjoy it. Okay,
Yeah.
so they're changing this thing, which I think is great. This like strong box where you can actually edit the UI for like essences and strong boxes so that you can use the items. Because right now what happens is if I want to edit or roll something on a strong box, instead of hitting A to open it, I have to hold A to let the little bar go, and then it pops up my inventory in a small screen so that it shows my stuff that I can use on the strong box. So that what they're changing now is it will actually be in the UI itself of the strong box. But what I would like is that if I'm doing that in the middle of doing that, like pause.
Yes, this game is pausable now. It would be nice.
It should
if
pause when I'm doing that.
And yeah.
Like if I'm trying to edit that, I don't think it does it right now when I hold the button down to use my, maybe it does and I've just missed it and I'm too good at killing everything, but I hope that that is a feature because man, I miss pause in Path of Exile 1 more than I miss dodge roll.
Right? I was playing Path of Exile 1 in our hardcore league and I'm like, all right, let's just level up here. No,
you want to level up,
plan!
Exactly.
Plan!
You're trying to listen for noise.
Oh, I don't even have portal scrolls. How do I? It's like, sorry, I probably peaked there. My apologies.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so pause, please.
This picture for the large strong box that they have on this H patch, guarded by 10 packs of monsters. And then I'm not familiar with what the pictures are anymore. Is that a
transmute and an alk?
That's an alk?
Yeah. And so what would happen too is once you pick the transmute, I'm guessing that UI would also change to show an augment and a regal.
So in Path of Exile 1, to interact with a strong box, you would hit Y on your Xbox.
I don't know how it works on a controller because I only did keyboard and mouse.
Right. And so you would hit Y and then it would bring up your inventory. And then you could drag over. So, for the strongbox people before, I forget what change they made, but you used to carry around alks and chaos with you all the time if you were just heavy into strong boxes. So you'd alk it and then you'd chaos. And then, of course, your stacks of Val orbs to try and get those modifiers that you really liked. But so it was basically just Y. But it was annoying because you could, just like in Blight, I'd be running around in Blight. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what happened? Why can't I move? Where's this bear trap? But there's like 1,000 icons on the screen and I don't know what's going on. I don't know what it is. And then I'm dead. But all it was I accidentally pushed down on R3, which for mouse and keyboard players, that's when you push down on the right analog stick as a button. So I pushed down on R3 and that opens up the menu. But I didn't realize I was in a menu for Blight, you know what I mean? And so sometimes when I'm around a strong box and I accidentally hit Y in Path of Exile 1, I'm like, oh no, that's, and I know what's happened. I've brought up my inventory, but that's what I didn't want to do. I have a skill allocated to Y. And so when I see this large strong box guarded by 10 packs of monsters and it has a transmute and an alk there, I really hope that there is not an individual key for each of those. Like if, let's say, the transmute is X and the exalt or whatever is Y.
It won't
I
be.
really hope that's not the case.
Their picture is obviously keyboard and mouse because you could just click it very easily with your keyboard and mouse to pick which one you want. But my assumption will be for controller players, because you have to hold down on the interact button A in order.
And you said it's holding down on A. Okay.
That's correct. Because normally you would open it with A, but if you hold down A, then you get the interact with it button. It actually says that on it. My guess is once you hold down, then these becomes just, you would flick between which ones you want to apply, which that's how I hope that they would do it, because that would make the most sense. But I also hope that in that time while you're figuring it out, it pauses. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, hopefully that's the case.
That's cool though. Looking forward to that H. Man. I haven't played much with G. I need to go back and play more with G. I tried to play a little bit of Path of Exile 2. I actually did play a little bit of Path of Exile 2 after the G patch came out, but I didn't play it long enough to really give it a fair shake.
It's awkward timing for, I don't know what it's like for them or if they care, because when you come out with a loot patch in Path of Exile 2, you want your feedback, you want your data, but around the same time, they came out with basically the only thing that they've done for Path of Exile 1 forever. Like, sure, they came out with the alternate ascendancies, and so that came out with all these
free leagues. So you're going to lose some players.
Yeah, you're getting free leagues, and like, I think they would have so much more. I'm the kind of person where when you make things cheap and you let more people interact, it's better for your brand, it's better for your product, and you make more money. because there's also the returning value aspect of it too, right? The more people that play it, the more advertising you get, this kind of thing, private leagues, small communities, like it's really cool. So I'm on the opposite end. Like if I was in their board meeting, I would always be pushing for the cheaper prices, have more of those MTX out, have more people do privately, and then hope the volume covers that as opposed to the individual price, right? So I'm on the opposite end of them in that regards. But when they came out with free leagues, like you and I were joking around about how many one person, 20,000 occupancy leagues
I hope we
is
get
going
that
to be.
stat at some point.
Yeah, I think that would be hilarious. And then maybe they could use that as a proving point for, their costs of however it costs for their service.
When I
But
opened
either
up S, which brings up your friends list in Path of Exile 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I moused over all the different people. There weren't a lot that were playing, but all of them were in a different league. Every single one was in a different league.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bad timing in my mind, but I mean, who cares? Like if you're planning on, G's going to be around for forever, so you'll get the stats at some
I feel
point.
like you'll get the best response for how G works when the next league starts, because
Yeah,
I think
100%.
it really requires people to start from the beginning, and there's a lot of people that, like, I don't want to do the campaign, but I will with the next league. So
Sure. And you know what? A really good time to make loot changes is when things are slow, not when things are insanely busy.
Mhm.
Because then you're getting, like,
At least
you still
slow
get your
feedback.
stats, but yeah, you're not getting inundated with absolute garbage. Which a lot of it's legit, right? A lot of feedback's legit, but the more feedback you get, the more garbage you have to sift through too. And it just makes life really difficult. So I think it's actually really good timing for them to do it, a month after a league launch. All that being said, I haven't played with G at all, so it'll be very interesting to see what this is like with that. But I've been thinking lots about Path of Exile too, as we've been going through our hardcore private league, because they made changes to the. I mean, I've come across a lot of bugs and crashes in Path of Exile 1 where I'm like, really?
I'm crashing a lot in Path of Exile 1.
I'm like, Settlers has been out for how long?
Yeah.
Come on. Like I'm crashing to my desktop. Like the game's just all of a sudden closed.
I
And
think I
then,
had 5 or 6 of them.
yeah, like immunity bars on bosses just stay up or they stay on and I can't damage the boss. It's
I haven't had that. I've definitely had crashes.
But anyway, I'm looking forward to getting back to it, but I'm loving, like, I'm interacting with strong boxes and I'm like, man, I'm back to the thing where it's like, when I go back to the Atlas passive tree and Path of Exile 2, like, I was going to do it. I get excited for every strong box. I don't know why. I just I got to click it. I got to. It drives me nuts until I'm immune to being frozen, right? Which takes a tiny bit of time. The second I have access to either, I'll get Arctic armor right away. And then I'll normally get purity of elements for the rest of my leveling experience, especially because I don't like to get resist for my minions right away. So as soon as I get Arctic armor, I'm clicking on every single strong box. Don't care. It's just great. And then I don't know what it is, but essences, they're like the exact same, but it's for crafting instead of drops. And it's like, I don't know. And then Rogue Exiles, they added, I forget when that was. I think it was about a year ago now, but they added, like, Rogue Exiles just show up everywhere and they rebalanced them a little bit in Path of Exile 1. And it's just like, it's fun to interact with those things. And all I was thinking about, like, man, I wonder what it's like in Path of Exile 2. Because remember, I've done like the first 3 acts and then I have to restart or whatever. So I've been really excited to get into that, but I've been thinking a lot about Path 2 with this hardcore experience. But one quick thing here, they're also enabling private leagues with the H patch in Path of Exile 2. We'll have to use the Path 1 website, as mentioned prior, but that'll be interesting.
Well, we'll have to do one at some point.
Yeah, especially if it's free.
There's no way they're free for Path of Exile 2. I can't imagine that's going to happen.
Watch, they're already coming out with alternate ascendancies.
I would be completely shocked if you saw Path of Exile 2 leagues for free. I just don't think that's going to be a thing. And I would not blame them for it because I know that they're a decent amount of money for them.
Yeah. No, not a criticism, just a hope. Mm-hmm. I'd like a free car.
Yeah. So that's this week in PoE.
It was only 2 things. And
just
we
2
ended
things.
Up talking an hour about it, but it was all
2
good.
cool things. All right, let's talk about our private league a little bit.
Yeah.
We're playing hardcore trade. Also, I'm just going to start this
because we are hardcore.
No, I'm going to say hardcore is stupid. I've always thought it. We've always said it. I hate it. I hate it, hate it, hate it. Do you know why I hate it though?
Hey, Justin, tell me why you hate hardcore.
Because I'm having fun with King's March. I'm having fun building up my town, upgrading my stuff. And when I die, well, what the fuck? My town's waiting there for me. What am I supposed to do now? I got to level up to get back to the level of getting the same amount of gold and it's just, that's the reason I don't like hardcore.
You know what, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. Fuck your town.
I'm
fuck
right.
Your NPCs.
Nope.
Fuck your shipments.
You don't like
fuck
hardcore?
Your farms. No, of course I don't.
No. You're just mad because you haven't even got to your town.
I'm not saying I like hardcore. I'm mad because of Tellus. No, I hear you. I was just having fun with it. I love King's March. Like Thalon has said in our Discord, like it's an absurdly easy mechanic to ignore, which I absolutely love.
That's very true.
I absolutely love it. But
why?
Why ignore it?
Yeah.
Because I want to play.
You get good stuff, though, out of doing it.
Care.
Even if you wanted to completely ignore King's March, which is fine because you're going to pick up gold naturally, you should still go to King's March to go to Faustus. One, because he's the funnest NPC ever, but also because he has the black market. And the black market lets you just buy, it's gambling for your gold. So if you're not planning to upgrade King's March anyway, it's definitely still worthwhile going to have a chat
for sure.
with Faustus.
For sure, but that's just like for the sake of
I love the upgrading. I like the shipping. That's where I got most of my good gear from.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. It's always the league content where the best gear comes from. One benefit now, it would be really hurting me. Like I would still ignore it because I find it very tedious and not fun. I'd rather keep going with white items than have to deal with King's March. Not a crab.
I know the one thing.
I played a fight. How many times have they been like?
It's a nice break. It's a reprieve from all the killing.
You turn the game off if you need.
I'm going to go farm for a minute.
Yeah, let's go farm for items. Anyway, what were we talking about?
What are you doing right now?
I picked a scab and it's surprisingly bleeding so much that it's like I slit my wrist.
You just keep dabbing at it. Just let it be.
Well, look at this.
It's a lot of blood.
Kleenex. It's more red than white.
Also, like, why'd you scrunch it all up? Why don't you just lay it on top of it?
Because it's already soaked in the middle.
So
I started like such a kid because it's already soaked in the middle.
Okay, so we're playing hardcore.
Yeah, we are. And Sentinel.
Right. Sentinel was the extra.
Is really like, I don't care. Like, I like fun. Sentinel. I think it's cool. I didn't realize they still had the 3 different robots in there as you go through and it's random. Okay, cool. I don't even read what they do.
Me either.
I just click and I turn them on right away. If I waste it, fine.
I made a mistake.
I don't, but I can tell you that when I see that it only has 2 charges, which means it's only going for like the rares. I don't know if it works for uniques or not. I am sprinting, man. I'm like, screw you, zombies. I'm not waiting for your slow kills. Let's go. Mm-hmm. But I'm having a great time. Like, I'm not feeling the effects of skipping the league content, which normally is where the decent gear comes from, because Sentinel exists.
Yeah.
But they also, like, I saw Manway making a comment in our Discord too. Like, did they buff loot? I know I'm playing with Sentinel, but I have so much better gear than I have ever been used to in my life. I've only have the one playthrough. I haven't died yet because I'm not a loser. And my gear is great, man.
I don't think I've ever seen anything great, about buffing
but like I'm
gear,
not getting phenomenal things, but I actually have life on a couple pieces. My resists are almost capped. I'm in Act 5. Listen, this is how weird my playthrough has been, Justin. I go to what's the NPC that sells rings in the first act? She ends up turning into the crab lover.
Nessa?
Yeah. I go to Nessa before Merveille, and guess what she has? Cold rings.
Yeah,
never,
she always has.
Ever does she have cold rings when I want her to have cold rings. Never. I go to her all the time, and it's always lightning.
She almost always has
you
cold
and your
wings,
fire rings. She never has cold rings, and you're such a no. She doesn't. You're just on her. You're just trying to be her lover. And then I go to Yena in Act 2. Well, no, not who cares about Yena? What is it? What's her name? What is it? Clarissa or whatever her name is, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Act 3, guess what she had just before Dominus? That's right, lightning rings. Who Who'd have thought? And I'm checking as I go through. Every time I come to town, I'm like, I know Dominus is coming. I do this all the time. Only this playthrough is it working.
Well, I'm glad it's working for you.
Yeah, well, I'm having a good time.
Well, I'm just looking your character up. You got to 42 so far?
I guess so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where are you in the acts right now?
Started Act 5. I just took the portal.
Nice. Yep.
And I just got to the hometown.
Have you
and in Act 5. And I'm getting ready to start that.
Ascended?
Yeah, I'm ascended. I'm officially a puppeteer.
Puppeteer. What do you get off the bat for that?
That's crap. It's 20% increased life as energy shield, which for me, because I'm not investing into energy shield at all, I'm getting like 200 energy shield, which I mean,
is that just leading you to something?
Yeah. I mean, my minions get it and because they have 1 or 2 nodes on the tree that also give them maximum life as energy shield, they'll have tons of energy shield. But the next one is enemies just have like 20% of their life reserved all the time. But the only reason that I did that is because the first node in the zombie one is zombies count as corpses.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you were worried about that for...
Oh, well, I mean, Act 3, every single rare has it.
Mm-hmm.
Those like stupid little spider crab things that show up as you're going through Act 3 and 4 in like those underground and belly areas. Everywhere I go, like as soon as they added that as a mod, it was like, you know what? We think players are going to love this. And I think 50% of the rares should have this from this point forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't going to touch that until I was like much more well established as an individual character before I added that.
So did you go this way to get to the nearby enemies have 20% of life reserved? Is that your next plan? Or is this just a filler until you're more established?
So first, I get it's an alternate ascendancy that isn't well designed to be long-term. I get it's like just some neat ideas and it's crap. The only reason I'm the puppeteer is for the sake of the zombie nodes. That's it. Like there's no other reason for me to be the puppeteer except for the zombie nodes. And the only good one is
the flesh
plus
puppets?
4 level zombies and what else does it do? Oh, 25% increased size, which does nothing in the game. It's just a visual effect. And honestly, plus 4 to zombies does not that makes them slightly better than super sucky. That makes them just like sucky. You know what I mean?
You get 20% increased minion life on the way there and 14 chaos res.
Yeah, but that's for me. That's not for zombies.
I know.
Right? And the whole reason you're going through that isn't for me. It's for zombies. And
I like that. Actually, I like Graveyard Shift. I like the first one. Your zombies count as corpses.
Well, that one's great for like just quality of life.
Movement speed. And you get
the
movement
speed. The 10. Well, it's like 8 to 10% free movement speed, depending on how many zombies you have. But it does make it so that you're not going to use Montegrul's Grasp, right? Because you want that movement speed. But also, zombies count as corpses. Like you have to be aware of what minion rare mods are. And you never know what minion rare mods are until you actually see them happening.
Have you tested that one yet? Because I'm really curious. Does it just straight up blow up your minion? And if it does blow up your minion, does it blow up your minion and do damage to the mob that just blew it up? Because the zombie should be close to it. Like, how's that work?
For me, it's all an assumption. I haven't bothered testing it yet. When the Puppeteer first came out, I never really cared to play PoE1,
I feel like we're way behind
the Ascendancy increased me. Yeah. But at the same time, like if you just take it for the face value explanation, zombies count as corpses. And then there's explodes nearby corpses as a rare mod. So, and I'm running around with Meat Shield. So those zombies are always like, Tyler, come back. Tyler, I need to give you a hug. Like they're super close to me and I want my zombies to live. I'm not just throwing them out there. And even honestly, even if I was doing some sort of exploding zombie thing, I'm still increasing their life. And they get to like 30,000 life, 23,000 life. Like they're exploding and I'm toast.
Maybe take off Meat Shield.
That doesn't increase their life.
No, I know, but it stops them being near you if you're fighting them.
I could put on Feeding Frenzy and that would keep them farther away from me, but
or
I could do something like Signal Prey where I'm like telling them to be somewhere, but it's still very circumstantial. At the end of the day, it's irrelevant to me because I just need to be aware of what's going on.
I feel like it could be really strong against those mobs that blow up corpses as long as your minion has enough life to survive whatever type of... I don't understand it because if your zombie has 30,000 life and it's blowing it up, it's typically doing a portion of its life as damage. Is it damaging other minions? Is it damaging just the enemy?
I think you know what, you bring up a good point, and I actually think we're mixing it up because we're used to something like minion instability exploding a percentage of the minion's life, but I have no idea what the damage is of explodes nearby corpses. I have no idea what that damage is based on, so it could have nothing to do with the minion life. But my zombies do count as corpses, so that does mean I have 6 to 10 zombies around me that are potentially going to explode. Right. So that's why I saved it for my third ascension, as opposed to my first. So my first ascension's useless for me, fine for zombies. I also don't know how efficient it's being because I'm running around with Holy Flame Totem, which is obviously doing all the killing, not the zombies, but that has consecrated ground. So my zombies are getting that added benefit of survivability with it. So I don't know how efficient that first energy shield node is for the zombies. All that being said, soon enemies will basically, it's like a 20% call. They have 20% less life on a regular basis, which is huge. It doesn't change energy shield, but it is life. So still, that's neat. But the only reason that I'm going that route is that's like the only other thing that really worked for just a pure zombie build. So
that marination one that you get, the first one though, that is pretty strong, especially as you just build life anyway as you're leveling up.
Yes,
like
it's
that is
beneficial.
Free defense.
So it's one of those things where it's like, wow, that's cool. It's neat. It's helpful. I would never choose an ascendancy for it. I would choose an ascendancy for that second one that I'm aiming to. So it's the travel node. It's fine. And it's a strong travel node. So I'm fine with it. But yeah, I'm having a good time. I mean, it has been a cakewalk. Path of Exile 2 has turned this like hardcore experience into being like, this used to bug me? Like, what's going on? Like, maybe the game's changed enough and I don't remember because, of course, we've been on quite the Path of Exile 1 hiatus, but I've been running through Path of Exile 2 and I'm like, or Path of Exile 1 in this hardcore experience. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything different. Why is it so easy? Fun. Yeah. So, like, I still don't like hardcore. Like, it's going to be a pain.
I don't like hardcore either.
No, when I die, I don't want to restart. Like, screw that.
It's actually not as bad restarting in Path of Exile 1. Like, I don't mind it as much. The campaign is, I did die and my second character was up back into maps in 3 hours of playtime. Like, that's all. I don't mind that. That I'm fine with.
Yeah. I see. Well, I don't level that fast. Like, when I level again, I'm going back to zombies and I'm going to be leveling just as slowly as I ever level. And it's different for me, but I'm surprised. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because of what I'm used to with Path of Exile 2, and I saw people on Discord mentioning this too. Path of Exile 1 is so much easier compared to Path of Exile 2 now. I like it. And I have other comments to say too, but I want to hear about your builds because you've leveled a couple times now.
Yeah, 2. I did 2 scions, I have to say. First off, I did scion solely because of our After Dark conversation last week where we were talking about what we would play, and I don't even remember the context or how the conversation happened because that's pretty common for me with After Dark, but I don't remember if one of us was laughing at the idea of me not doing a scion because I just don't like scion, which is probably a fair assumption to say either of us could have said that.
The whole conversation was me being like, Justin, check out Scion. It's so different. There's only 4 clusters. Stupid. And you were just like, Tyler, Scion's stupid.
Yeah.
Like the whole conversation was you saying Tyler, Scion's stupid. And then the very next thing, like we haven't talked about our week or anything at all. We haven't checked in. And the very next thing I hear from you is like, so I started Scion.
Yeah. So
and you didn't remember the conversation at all.
I remembered part of it. I just couldn't remember the details of it.
Well, you only said one thing. Scion's stupid, Tyler.
That seems fair. So I decided to make a scion I didn't even look into it. I literally was just like, all right, I thought scion was stupid, or Tyler said I couldn't do scion, so I'm going to do scion. That was my mentality. So I started scion. I started playing the scion, and like the leveling is a bit slow in the beginning, but I get to the point where I'm going to ascend, and I still to that point had not even looked at alternate ascendancies. I didn't know what my options were going to be when I ascended with the scion. So I go to ascend with the scion, and of course, there's one option, scavenger. And I start looking at it, and I'm like, well, I don't like this. The scion makes me angry just because the very first one just gives you 2 points, 2 passive points. And you feel like you just did all this work. And ascendancies are always an exciting thing to ascend because you get something cool, something build changing, blah, blah, blah. The scion's like, nah, here's your 2 passive points for the tree. You know. You finished a quest, basically. That's what you get. But it was fun as I started to progress and figure out the side. Like it was really cool. It's called the Scavenger, and the idea behind it is it's getting the properties of uniques built into the Ascendancy. Like it is actually pretty fun the more I played with it. So my first character was a scion, and I was going with Poisonous Concoction because it's wickedly easy to level. Like you just make sure you have a good flask on, and that's it. Like you don't need anything else. Just get your defenses up. Don't have an item stored in your one hand. Throw a shield on, and you're good. So I leveled up. I actually leveled up both my characters with Poisonous Concoction to start, but I got while I was going through them, I changed a green into another green, right? Transfigure a green into another green. And I just happened to get Poisonous Concoction of Bouncing. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's like the skill I'm using. I'm going to start playing with that. And I was having so much fun. Like the build was so strong. And I was even laughing with people in 21. I'm like, I've hit that dangerous point where I feel like I'm invincible. Like I'm flying through the axe. Everything's feeling great. And everybody's laughing like, oh, it's the one shot coming. But I still continued progress through that. I got through the campaign. It was feeling really good. I was really feeling like I was getting strength out of my character, a lot of defense with Cloak of Flames on the Ascendancy side. And then I got to maps and I did my first map and I was like, all right, cool. I got my resists are good. My life was great. Like I was all set. I was good. I was starting maps and I was so excited to finish the first map, get back into the Atlas passive. I'm like, oh, I missed this. Like I really love the Atlas passive tree in Path of Exile 1. And then I go into the second map and that mentality of just like, I'm fine. And to be honest, I was fine, but I was not prepared. And I walked into the map and I walked straight up to a strongbox and I clicked it. And I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. What I was thinking, I'm not really sure. I probably...
You were invincible, Justin. I think that might have been the problem.
I'm just, you know what? Now I'm curious. If I look on, hold on, I have to figure one thing out. If I look at my character, because all my characters are in the top 20. Okay.
Did you start your own private league and it's just you and you're the whole podium?
So I did not have a flask for freezing. I had not planned properly for freezing. And I also was in the Path of Exile 2 mentality. Path of Exile 2, if I go up to a strongbox and click it, even if it freezes me, there's a delay.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a delay before the enemies start to come out in Path of Exile 2. In Path of Exile 1, when you click a strongbox, everybody's there. So, like, bang, bang. Yeah, I clicked the strongbox and I froze, and I cannot even tell you what I tried doing in that instance. I pooped my pants. And I'm literally, I'm clicking, I'm trying to figure things out, hit a flask, I'm trying to hit escape to leave the game. In that time, I'm pretty sure I didn't die before I became unfrozen, which means I probably could have just tossed down Poisonous Concoction and survived. Sure. But in my panic, I literally just like, I died. I threw my hands up and I was like, that's it, I'm dead. And that was the end of my character. And I was like, like I'm just getting into King's March. I just started mapping. I was like, no, this cannot be it. So I started another
you got
scion.
Your bouncy balls?
Well, it was gone now. Yeah. Because I was using it. So I started another scion, and this time I was going to try, people were talking about power siphon mines. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to give this a shot. So I started another scion, started playing, and dude, was it strong. Like it was my character that is currently third. Thank you very much. I died at third place. I was very proud of that. My character is perfect. I 6-linked a chest in 15 fusings.
Dude, that's awesome.
Somebody in chat found Fury Valve, which is the unique amulet I was really hoping to either find or take as my ascendancy, which meant now I didn't need to take it as my ascendancy choice because I already had the Fury Valve. I could actually pick a different ascendancy. I had great gear, like really, really good gear on this character. I was leveling through. I was into red maps. I gotten to red maps, but I was scared of red maps. Red maps freaked me out. So I was just chilling in the yellow maps. I was doing fine. What level was I? Like 780.
Clicked a strong box and wasn't
I didn't even touch strong
freeze.
boxes after that. I was like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it.
It's like getting your heart broken on a first date and you don't date for another 5 years.
Nope. Strong boxes were dead to me after that. But I was 89 when I died. I did my first red map. I vowed my red map and I went into it. And the fact is, I was fine for like the damage was fine. My defenses were fine. But what happened was I was doing, I think it's Carcass. It's the boss at the end. It's a fire boss at the end that throws fire and summons zombies. And she's got this big ring of fire that she puts to sort of a reddish, rocky sort of map. But it's very narrow passageways, which is fine for Power Siphon Mines. You toss them down and whatever. Power Siphon Mines was weird to get used to because it uses Locust Mines as a support, and they won't blow up if you're within 3 meters, which of course, who knows what 3 meters means in Path of Exile, but it meant that you can't throw mines right at your feet. You have to like throw mines. You're always throwing mines further away from you to make sure that they actually trigger. I'm doing the zone, I'm running through, but I had obviously picked up the Sentinel because that's what you do. And I immediately hit F2 because that's what activates it. And I ran towards it and it buffed up this mob that was hasted with Trail of Fire. And I fought it at first and it ran past me and I was like, holy shit, my life just disappeared. And I ran.
Trail of Fire is insane.
Trail of Fire does crazy damage. Yeah. So I ran back the other direction and I even thought at that moment, I'm like, maybe I should just not do this. Maybe I should like leave. So I'm throwing some mines towards it, just trying to inch myself forward to see if I can like start hitting him. And all of a sudden this little turd just like races across the path and I could not get out of the trail. I died to the Trail of Fire. I didn't die to some like big damage. I legit couldn't heal through with the potions or anything that Trail of Fire. And I was like, well, that's my run. So I haven't restarted since then. I haven't decided if I'm going to. I probably will, just given how long our leagues still last for. It's the 9th
today. So yeah, I'm sure you'll do
have a good
one or two more
stuff
characters
to level up. And I kind of want to try.
Solo self-found is not sharing.
First off, we're not solo self-found. It's not a solo self-found league.
Everybody is supposed to be playing solo self-found.
You play the stupidest ways.
Is cheating.
No, I play to be happy. You play to hit walls. Okay.
I don't hit walls.
You just said that if you die, you're just going to go zombie again.
That's not a wall.
Well,
zombies just suck. It's not a wall. I'm still progressing.
I want to try.
Progress like garbage.
I think I want to try one of the Marauder ascendancies because they look kind of cool. But I need to spend some time actually looking at what all the other alternative ascendancies are because I don't know any of them. So, but I've had actually a lot of fun playing Path of Exile 1.
It's been good. It's been for me as well. It's been edifying in retrospect to how far Path of Exile 2 has come from when it was first released, right? Some good reminders for the things that they're doing and changing. I mean, Ghoul/Hasted was it made me feel good because I'm not coming back to Path of Exile 1. Like that's not going to be.
Yeah, me too.
If Path of Exile 2 doesn't work out, I'm not coming back to Path of Exile 1. We'll just have a podcast about whatever we want. But it's just one of those things where there's just so much that has happened in Path of Exile 2 where the experience in Path of Exile 1 is no longer frustrating. It's because it's not the game that needs to be fixed anymore. Yeah, so you don't care about the crap. Yeah, it is. So it's probably the best Path of Exile 1 experience I've ever had, but that's not a compliment to Path of Exile 1. It's a compliment to Path of Exile 2. Yeah. Path of Exile 2 actually has come across that far. Like for me, I have a note here that right off the bat, like it didn't take me very long at all, even though I'm in Act 5, I don't have a button allocated to B. Because I am screwing up my habits so bad. B for mouse and keyboard players is dodge roll. Yeah. I don't even have anything allocated to B that I'm supposed to be pressing. That's just where my
so
zombies
you don't screw up your PoE2 experience. Yeah.
For none of it. But then like I was thinking, I'm like, I have to decide because if I ever end up getting live to the point where I have like 4 links and stuff like that, I have to decide between Withering Step or Enduring Cry. So endurance charges or phasing. And I'm like, man, I need phasing in this game.
I don't like that Withering Step's not allowed to be put on left click anymore.
But I just have it on automation. So it's just automatically
I guess cast. You could. I didn't think about that.
And you could have something else on the left.
I was using steel skin on automation for the bleed.
Oh, I have both.
Yeah, but I also, and then I had detonate mine because then you don't have to do anything for it. But I didn't even think about putting withering step on it. That actually would have worked too. Because I do agree with you. The phasing is amazing.
Yeah, even if you keep it at level 1, that speed burst boost, I mean, makes me nauseous, but it wouldn't make many other people nauseous. And so anyway, but I need to be able to get through mobs somehow. So phasing at some point, it used to be phase run, and then they came out with withering step a couple of years ago.
Quartz flask.
3 or 4 years ago. That's normally what I have on RB.
Late game, it's really good when you can get the instilling orbs and get it all, so it's always on.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it takes a while to get there, and in hardcore, you have to live to get there. So for me, I just need dodge roll, and it's only to get through enemies. I mean, in Path of Exile 2, the frustrating thing with dodge roll is there's no way for you. Like sometimes you roll through a group and you're like, I honestly didn't expect to get through that. But then you go through enough of those, I didn't expect to get through that moments that all of a sudden you get stuck and like, what the fuck? Oh, why didn't I get through? Oh, no, I'm stuck. And then you die because you're so used to being able to get through stuff that you wouldn't normally do. So there's that visual unclarity in PoE 2 in regards to dodge roll where you just expect to like teleport through enemies in a way because there's no way to know if you're actually going to get through a group or not, right? Withering step is just so relaxing because it's just
it's just there.
There's no change. I mean, I guess technically it's just like dodge roll in the sense that you're going from one kind of movement speed to another, right? Just like dodge roll, it starts off fast and then it goes slow kind of thing. But it just takes you right through. You're still walking. It's just the left analog stick. You just keep on going. And I love being able to phase through enemies, but I need that. Whether it's dodge roll or withering step, phase run, quartz flask. But yeah, I always have the quartz flask. I have 2 of those always. Every time I hit a life flask, one goes off, and then I have one that's like, oh crap, goes off. Also, I had to rescue the scion, Justin. She wasn't an option for me.
Because you haven't done it yet in hardcore, maybe?
Well, so I was really curious about this, but I was broadcasting this week, and then somebody pointed out that I wasn't online in the guild. And I'm like, what's going on?
How would that be?
I forgot about the account merging. I was playing on my Xbox's number. So I merged my accounts.
Yeah.
But then I have PC Record of Days and Xbox Record of Days now as one account, and there's a drop-down menu. And they used to be individual. So when I loaded the game and started playing, it was just my Xbox account. Like I had no characters.
So did you ever open the guild stash? Would you have even had the guild stash if you were on that?
No, this character is not in the guild.
I figured that there had to have been something wrong, or you just never opened the guild stash because the guild stash is awful. And I was like, how is Ty fine with this? There's no, what's it called where it automatically goes anywhere?
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's why they haven't like really, maybe they're trying to figure out like, why the hell doesn't this work in Path of Exile 1? Like, going back and all those affinities, like stashes have never worked. I went through, there was an episode where I went through like all 16 different leagues and like went through like a half of a day of my life, making sure that all the standard base types of these leagues were fixed so that every single new league, no matter what we did, was fixed.
I couldn't even change the name of them. It's just defaulted to what, like the first stash tab is just a general stash tab. And that's where people are throwing everything because you'd have to go through all the tabs are just like 1 through 12. There's
and it's not going to change, people. Enjoy it until May 30th. That's what you get.
So when this character dies, can you just start it up on the other one?
Not going to happen.
Why not?
Because I want to play the G patch. This is my only character, man. I made it to Act 5. I'm not going to Act 5 again.
Oh, you're doing it again.
No, I don't. Like I said, the puppeteer isn't great. I'm playing it because there's zombie-specific nodes. And that's it. So I'm doing the 2 zombie nodes, whether I like them or not. And then I'm picking the next best 2.
You're in 7th for the witches or templars.
See? Can't touch this. So anyway.
91. Our top person is a puppeteer. So it's obviously pretty good.
I checked them out. They're not doing zombies.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, not as their
That's not like, they're who would do zombies as their actual skill, obviously.
Dude, +4.
Oh, I had even done my Uber ascension on the character that died.
That's pretty cool.
I was feeling good, buddy.
That's what's going to kill me, man. The amount of idiocy I use, like I'm going through and like enemies aren't a problem for me. I'm for some reason, I'm able to recognize stuff that I felt like I couldn't recognize before. I'm able to stay safe super easily, even in the boss fights. So Path of Exile 2 boss fights must be really stupid compared to these ones, because I'm seeing Malachi, no problem, all this red on red on red on red. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the big deal is. But then I start going through lab, and I'm like, hey, look, there's a buzzing saw running forward. Let's catch up. Yeah.
Every time, man.
Let's see if I can survive this. Like, obviously, that's not what I'm trying to do.
I don't understand, because I do the same thing. You know you're running with something that's going to kill you, and yet you don't move. You kind of just like, I don't understand it. It's the same with when you see like orbs shooting out. I swear to God, I move into them. I swear I'm purposely moving into the way of the orb. It's like, I'm not trying to catch it.
Heidi does her spinning beam, and you're like, all right, let's see how much I can eat.
Man. That's the scariest fight in the game.
Dumbest fight in the whole game. No joke. The amount of crap you have to deal with in Act 4.
And it's like, all right, now watch where she's facing, because if she's looking at you, you're dead.
The orbs and anyway, it's just I don't know what it is, but those traps are going to be what gets me.
Mm-hmm. I hope you run with a buzzsaw so that we're on the same page, because everybody keeps bugging me about that same damn death.
You need somebody to join you in stupid
I need somebody
hell.
else here with me.
All right. Well, anyway. Let's do it. And I hope everybody's enjoying the private league. It's a lot of fun, just like the community stuff. I mean, Path of Exile is Path of Exile, but it's fun to be a part of the community. Feel free to laugh at people when they die. Keep in mind that if they're offended, they probably didn't hear this episode. And if they're getting all pissed that you laughed at them, just say, no. They encouraged it. It's fine.
If I'm online, you'll see I call out dead before anybody gets an F in.
Dead.
I always say just dead. I find it funny.
That's awesome.
All right,
I think sucker in all caps is also appropriate.
That's a lot to write out. Usually I'm scared and I'm trying to type it real fast so I don't die.
Well, I guess dead can be done one-handed.
I just do DED just to make it even faster. All right, let's wrap this up. Forever Exile 292. I'm Justin AK Tags.
Tyler Recker of Days.
Patrons will catch you in After Dark. Everybody else will see you next week in 293. You can check out more information down below. Go to our website, foreverexiled.com. We have a very fun Discord. Pop in there and say hello. And as said, Patreon and other ways to support the podcast. You'll find them down below and on the website. Many deaths upon you.
Agreed.